Janice Robinson here, your spiritual teacher, weird thinker. Maybe not weird thinker, just unique thinker. Generally, most of the feedback I get from individuals is they love listening to me because of the way that I think. And then there's other people that equally feel differently, but that's okay. So today I wanted to talk about an area that sometimes for me is the most sometimes is challenging to wrap my head around. So let's talk about it. I want to talk about being out of control. So sorry, I'm a little stumbly on my words today because this is something I don't talk about a lot. So generally when most people meet me, they see me as someone that appears to have a pretty organized life and generally pretty in control. Now, I'm going to guess that there's a couple of people out there who would absolutely not feel that to be the case. And that's okay because they have good reason to. So you practice a lot. Like I was watching the movie The Hustler over the weekend, and he's teaching the basketball player about how to have these horrible things said about his family or his daughter or his mom, just awful things, and not react to it. So you and we do that practice on a regular basis, right? Like learning how to be less and less offendable, right? So that you're not reacting as much. And then you've developed this incredible skill where you're able to not react much or be quiet. Now, there's other people that have the exact opposite affliction of, of me where they wish that they would stand up more for themselves or maybe say what they really felt. And, I guess you guys just need to hang out with me more. But generally, the reason why people don't want to speak up or say what they really feel is because then they don't want to deal with the part that I'm talking about, experiencing where you feel like you're out of control. So once in a while, I end up in a situation where I'm not really communicating my needs or what needs to happen or getting clarity. And so then I will take something and I say it in this phrase where I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. And then it's like I have no control. I'm completely out of control. And all of a sudden it's like this tipping point happens and then rah, crazy Janice comes out and all kinds of shit happens. Now, there are some people that definitely have that experience and then after that happens and they feel really bad because that's not what they intended. So there's a few different parts to this. People such as myself could learn how to speak up sooner rather than just taking something. Like that first initial thing that just doesn't feel quite right in a situation, going ahead and dealing with it then. So typically there's two reasons why I don't want to deal with it then when I first have it is one, I'm lazy. Let's just be honest. I don't want to deal with it. And two, sometimes I'm not even clear like what to say in the get-go, but just learning how to speak in the beginning and the get-go would probably help diminish some out of control situations later in the future. But let's say you've done all of that and you've gotten all of that still in that good space, but then you're still having these instances where there's these out of control things happen, which changes courses of events in your life. Like, for instance, maybe you've been friends with someone forever and you had an out of control moment. You ended up having a big blow up between the two of you or whatever, and now you're no longer friends. Maybe something's happened at work and you ended up quitting, or maybe you ended up getting fired. Maybe you did something out of control at work that got you fired. So you can go one of two ways. Like you can beat the living daylights out of yourself nonstop. You get those hammers out, beating them on your head. I know you. I know that you do that, even though, you supposedly don't. Even the most spiritual people sometimes accidentally catch themselves beating themselves up inside. But let's just take some thoughtful consideration about how fortunate or lucky you are, right? No matter what happens in your life, it's always going your way. No matter what kind of hiccup you've had, what kind of accidental, out of control situation that you've had where you feel like, oh my God, my life is ruined, your life isn't ruined. It's actually just beginning. So that friend that you accidentally had the blow up fight with, that was never reconciled, that you're no longer friends, consider that you guys needed to go on different paths, but neither of you were willing to separate. And so then the only way to be able, for you two to be able to get on to your next phase in your life was for you to have that blow up. So just consider releasing the animosity and thanking that friend for that, and thanking yourself if you feel like you were the one that was wrong in it. And the same thing with the job separation, or maybe it was a divorce, or any of those things. We get so angry and upset with ourselves for having lost control and doing something in our life, but we don't step back and consider that that was quite probably a miracle. And that for that event to happen exactly the way that it is, it's ended up putting you on a different trajectory. More importantly, it's put the other people that had that experience with you on a different trajectory, especially if there was an inability to reconcile. And be at peace with that and consider giving gratitude and saying, oh my goodness, I never thought about it that way. Thank goodness I was completely out of control. Thank goodness I said that crazy thing that cannot ever be taken back, that has now completely ruined that friendship. And while I miss that friendship deeply, I'm now beginning to see how that's helping me take the next step. I'm beginning to see how I'm getting to have a whole new life of one that I would love to have because something out of control happened in my life. So definitely not the easiest spiritual practice to take on. Definitely the most satisfying one, and it will bring tremendous relief to you as you begin to let go of the resentment and the anger towards other people or towards yourself. Because as you let those go, all those things are just keeping you stuck in a place. And this event happened for an amazing reason, and you don't really get to know exactly what it is or uncover it or discover it until you're willing to let go of the guilt and the shame, the sadness, the resentment, the anger, all of those kinds of things. So remember, if you need help with that happens to be one of my greatest skills because I've practiced it a lot. And reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. You have an amazing day, and be grateful to yourself and others for being out of control, because it's absolutely perfect. No matter what it looks like, look for the miracle that's in there. It's there, I promise.